guys, you are about to see something very weird, and like not weird like a comet tail that is pointing the wrong way. We have talked about that in my last videos. Nope, we already knew that. And we've got new images coming in of interstellar object 3I Atlas. Now is the time when we are collecting the data, and guys, it is amazing. What we now see, guys, is on another level. Hubble Space Telescope images of 3I Atlas, we see something very unexpected on these images. Something symmetric, something structured, something not random. And that sounds strange if we're talking about something natural. It's not fuzzy, it's not chaotic. And this structure might tell us a deeper story about this interstellar visitor. So we will break it down in this video. And if you want to learn about all the mysteries, go to my playlist. And guys, please do me a favor. Please give this video an early like and a hype. It helps my channel, doesn't cost you anything. Now, let's break this down, this new thing, step by step, for people that know nothing about space and for the experts that are looking my channel on a regular basis. So this is our interstellar alien visitor, because it's not from our solar system, 3I Atlas, and this today is the symmetric jet structure that we need to have a closer look at, because now these images are bright and clear. Let's start with the big picture. 3I Atlas, the interstellar object outside of our solar system, rushes through space at high speed, way faster than any of our spacecraft would be able to fly. So it's only been seen because big telescopes spotted it. But in the Hubble images from July 21st, 2025, already last year, crazy how time flies. This is when it was discovered, right? Astronomers have already at that time noticed something very unusual, this unusual symmetric shape in the dust and gas structures around interstellar object 3I Atlas. So this isn't like the round coma of a typical comet. This isn't like a long tail that's trailing behind a natural comet. This has symmetry, like two arms going out, balanced on either side. And that symmetry, guys, is the puzzle. And why is this now the big news? So before we dive into details, comets and comet-like bodies don't usually show symmetric jets. Jets from comets are usually, how we can say, absolutely chaotic. This is how you describe them. They erupt at random or in random directions. They are caused by ice that's evaporating under sunlight sublimation, and that usually creates uneven, messy patterns, because none of these ice structures that creates the jets is the same, right? But in the Hubble images, they show something that looks, and we have to say, almost engineered. That doesn't mean, guys, that it's alien tech, but it definitely means that it's absolutely weird. And it's worthy of careful scientific explanation. So stay with me, guys. You won't be bored. You will see exactly what is going on. So let's have a look at the Hubble image. This is real data. This is not an artist's concept. You see the bright center, that's the nucleus of 3I Atlas. And around this nucleus is the cloud of dust and gas that we call the coma. So nothing unusual there by itself. But look at this. Do you notice two narrow features extending on both sides of 3I Atlas? They're roughly symmetric, one on this side and one on that side, like a mirrored images, like it's looking in the mirror. And this is a, how we can call it, symmetric jet structure. So what does symmetric mean in that context? So normal jets from comets do not look this way. Definitely not. Comets are usually random, uneven, messy, overlapping, chaotic. Symmetric means balanced, similar shape on both sides, stable pattern, not random. And this is like seeing a pair of arms coming out of both sides of the nucleus. And the weird part, really guys, the weird part is this. These features do not align with the antitail, the regular dust tail, or obvious sunlight direction. Boof! Now we have it, as I always say. So what we're seeing is not a normal comet tail. It is structured and it is symmetric. How was this image analyzed? Now, how did scientists find this? The team used something called the Larsen-Sekanina gradient filter. That's a tool that astronomers use to highlight faint structures in comet images. Without this filter, these features are absolutely hard to see. So because the bright central coma is overwhelming these features. But with the filter, even fainter jets stand out, directional structures become visible, and symmetric patterns show up. So this filtered image clearly shows two features at roughly equal distances on both sides of the nucleus. These are not noise, these are not artifacts, they show a real structure. Are they real jets or are they just an illusion? Look at all these pictures where we can compare different Hubble images from different dates up to December 27th. So some people assume symmetric shapes must be some kind of artifact, right? But here's why these look so real. They align persistently on both sides. They are consistent across multiple exposures. They are not random streaks. They extend at a measurable distance from the nucleus, and they appear in processed and in unprocessed data, meaning in images. So they really do pass, guys, the first test of reality. But they are not the antitail. They are not simply dust that is pushed away by the sun. They are structured like jets, and I'll get to that, because a jet is a narrow stream of material. Normally, the solar winds that are pushing against an antitail, they're spreading the particles out, but that's not the case. So these structured tails that are like jets. A jet is a narrow stream of material that is coming from a small region on the object's surface, like thrusters. So let's go to the natural version. These are likely real material flows, but that could also be artificial. What does this structure mean? So a symmetric jet structure could mean option 1, natural explanation. We have a pair of active areas on the surface that release gas and dust in just opposite directions. That's symmetric. Whew, what a coincidence, guys. Even Eddie, my dog's complaining. So it's maybe like two geysers balancing each other symmetrically. How would that work? Well, I don't know, guys, but we're trying to find an explanation, right? If the object is spinning, and it is, and if the active spots are near the poles, we talked about this before, right? Then the jets can appear on both sides. But what a coincidence, again, that we have two jets on the poles, right? And here's the catch. Normally, comets have uneven jets, many different active patches everywhere, like not a perfect symmetry. And gas release, that changes with rotation and sunlight. So a symmetric lasting jet, like we have two jets here at 3i Atlas, is unusual to say the least. So that brings me to option number 2. Is it a clue to something more? Let's just use the word exotic, right? That could be still natural, but also like, right? So if something else is controlling this structure, not just random ice evaporation, then you get a pattern that is unusual, but like not impossible physically. So maybe the structure of the nucleus of 3I Atlas is layered or aligned in an unusual way that, however, somehow creates this, right? Maybe the distribution of volatiles, of volatile particles and dust is highly organized, but who's organizing that, right? None of these possibilities are ruled in or are ruled out. We just simply don't know. But the symmetry has to be explained because it is there. And now we know all the other anomalies that we have discussed with 3I Atlas. Again, check my playlist. They are crazy. So in context of the other anomalies, this is not an isolated curiosity, right? It just fits a pattern, or it fits into a pattern. The rotation axis is locked, unusually aligned with the sun. We talked about this. The anti-tail jets showed and still do show a tight, narrow structure. The gas moves slower than natural sublimation of a natural comet would allow. This simply breaks physics. We talked about this. The anti-tail appears miraculously before and after perihelion consistently. And now, these are not even all the anomalies. I'm just talking about related anomalies. Now add this symmetric jet structure in the Hubble images. And even in the last Hubble images, right? They start July 21st, but they are back in end of December. So this just means, and it's clear, the dust gas release pattern is not random, it's organized. Again, unusual for typical comet. What is organizing it, right? It's unusual even for the weird interstellar visitor that we already have seen 2I Borisov. Borisov had standard comet jets. They were messy and chaotic. So 3I Atlas, since it was discovered, it kept surprising scientists and it still keeps surprising us. Each observation basically adds a new puzzle piece. We have more questions than answers. None of these pieces of the puzzle are easily fit together. That's the problem. So could this all be a sign of engineering? Because people are asking this question a lot. Let's be very clear. Even Harvard professor Avi Loeb, who is raising these questions, does not claim that 3I Atlas is artificial. He does not say that it's a spacecraft. He does not say it's alien technology. But what all the anomalies that he has found say is, we see features that are not typical for known comets: symmetry, structure, stability, organization. So these features deserve explanation. NASA's not giving us these explanations. They're not even talking about anomalies or listing anomalies, right? And astronomers should not ignore them, and many do not ignore them, right? That's the scientific point here. And why do these images deserve attention? The Hubble telescope is extremely powerful. It can resolve tiny structures at very vast distances. So seeing symmetry at this level means the jet sources are stable, the structure is coherent, guys, and the features not random. And that's not what we suspect from a natural, rugged ice ball. In most comets, the surface is irregular. The jets point in multiple directions. Features come and they go. They just don't stay. We have here with 3I Atlas these balanced jets that keep this structure so visible through careful analysis on multiple images in multiple time frames. So this symmetry, guys, it is real, period. That is worth studying. So let's be cautious, I would say. The symmetric structure does not prove alien technology, directed propulsion, spaceship design, a controlled craft. But what it does mean is some physical process is creating a stable symmetric pair of jets. What is this process? We just don't know why. And that's okay for now. This is how science works. If we knew everything from the start, why do we need to investigate, right? So the new Hubble images, they still show symmetric pairs of jets around 3I Atlas, and it might be natural, it might be something else. Scientists need to try to understand how this symmetry forms. This is what keeps them busy right now, right? 3I Atlas keeps surprising us every day. Every image basically reveals something new, something not obvious, and something, and that's important, guys, to me especially, not expected. So if you want to understand the universe, you have to follow the data, even when it's strange. Is NASA doing that? How do you feel? Leave me a comment, right? 3I Atlas isn't just another comet. That's a fact. It's a window in maybe how the cosmos works, if it's not alien spacecraft. And we're still thinking it's natural, right? We still should be learning what it's trying to tell us, one way or the other. So if you enjoyed this, guys, please hit subscribe, hype, like, become a subscriber if you want to become a monthly channel member for behind the scene videos about me and what I'm doing. If I'm not doing what I'm doing right now, click the subscribe button, guys. Thank you for hyping and liking. And here's the 3I Atlas playlist, and so much else is going on. California might be an island. It will be an island, and Nevada will have oceanfront property. Reno, maybe Las Vegas. Guys, it's not bullshit. This has started to happen. We see the cracks. Check out the videos here in the end screen. Stay safe. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.